Working with Conte of Paris crayons, we're going to make a rhino, not a real rhino, but a box rhino. And any image you see or subject you have, you can place it in a box. So in this image, you see that I'm placing the rhino's features in a box. If you look at the feet of the rhino, you can draw lines from the left to the right of it. You could say the width line, and you can draw front side of the box. I always tell you to imagine the front sides and back, and you're going to see a little cube that I'm going to use to show you front side and back and how it moves through a horizon line. Now here I'm doing X marks the spot because I don't want to waste paper and I want to draw the two rhinos in one page. I started with the line at the base of the rhino's feet, and then I started drawing the box. It's always good to imagine your subjects in something, box, circle, whatever geometric shape. The box is the simplest for me. X marks the spot can always tell you the center of it, so you see me now drawing what I feel is the center of the rhino's head, and then I go to the side of the box to start drawing the legs. I did do X marks the spot to divide the box a bit, so this way I can fit those legs in. Again, it's not perfect, but the technique is what we're trying to practice. How to make sure that we can have a 3D shape fit in a box. So in this case, we have a wooden 3D shape, and it makes it a little easier. If we were going to do the real rhino, that would be a little bit more difficult, but the same steps can be used. Now here I'm separating what's the front with red and what's the side. I believe it's going to be blue. And I'm just having fun with the medium that I'm using. Oh, the legs are green, so the sides are green. It takes time again to practice this technique and make sure that you can form anything you see into a 3D shape. This is just the beginning process of practicing with it. In our next project, we're going to do a bird, and again, a bird is circular, so we're going to see how the circle would fit in a box and how we can form a 3D shape by using a box next time. In this case, the rhino is sideways. You do see a little bit of the back of the rhino's legs or the side. You can see here my cube is going above the camera eye level, or my eye level if you wish. And you can see the T stands for the top of the box, the S stands for sides, and the B would be the bottom. We don't always ask ourselves, how much am I seeing of this? Is it in an angle? Where is it positioned? If you were to look at the skull at the left of my hand, you will see that you're seeing the top of the skull, one side of the skull, and the face. Now it is 2-point perspective, and based on the camera angle from the phone, you're seeing it on the right side. So if I was to do radiating lines from my vanishing point for my little skull there, my vanishing point would be on the left. My horizon line is definitely going to be high up, and the skull radiating lines are going to be facing towards the lower right. And it takes practice, but hopefully you keep practicing with those radiating lines. Start with the T anywhere on your page, and then radiate those lines and make boxes. So in this case, we're doing it for the rhino. We did 2 rhinos, and now I'm going to do a 3rd rhino. My Conte set is normal colors. I still have vine, so I'm going to use that instead to represent the charcoal, let's say, that I did have. Somehow I ended up with your colorful set, so that's why I started doing the playful colors for the rhinos the first half. But this is tone paper, and tone paper is really strong and interesting visually. So when you draw on it, you get to see and practice how your materials would glide across it and how the textures and colors would play on each other. Always remember, if it's a vertical line, it is going to be up and down very straight. You see my box is kind of tilted. I don't know why I wasn't paying attention, but if I had a ruler, I would just make it up and down straight. It doesn't matter the diagonal. I was just eyeballing it this time instead of using my pencil or my charcoal tilted sidewards to capture the right position. But always remember, if it's tall, it should be straight and up and down, okay? And if it's diagonal, it's going to be slanted. Horizontal always follows the horizon line. It's parallel with the horizon line. So you could always form your boxes by remembering where these angles are supposed to fit, where based on where your horizon line is. So horizon line parallel, left to right. The height line is always up and down, how tall something is. And diagonal usually shows you something going into the distance, usually to the vanishing point, and that is a diagonal, a slanted line. Now here you see me playing with the line work. I wanted to see what I wanted to do with this. Again, I'm not focusing on being perfect, but just trying to focus on the technique of making a box. I use the color just to point out the fronts, the sides, and the back.